But so as you know, from someone who's a established player of this to someone who's newer to the game, Berserker, why don't you give us some insights on maybe as a beginning player, what we call a noob, or I like to call pro noob. What are some thoughts that maybe tips and tricks that you have for beginner players who will be listening to our podcast?
Well, whenever I play a new game, I like to Google and get some tips and tricks from the pros that play, how they play well. And I try to kind of mimic my play style based on the people who are playing it, who are having success, because that's one of the best parts about playing any game is being good at it. Right. And so sportskeeda.com actually has the top tips and tricks for noobs from the pros. And so I want to go through that and see if you guys agree with these, because you guys are pros, right? So never loot in the open is number one. Agree? Right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one.
What do you think, Trash Man? Never loot in the open?
Unless you want sniped. Like if that's your end all, you want out of the game, yes.
If you want one tapped, yes, loot in the open.
Yes. So. Now this is definitely more for mobile players, not players playing on BlueStacks on PC, but claw control. That's a big thing. They said it was number 2. I don't know. I mean, I haven't used claw control. What's been your experience with that, Carver? I know you play mobile.
I used to play mobile, and claws when you use 4 fingers or 6 sometimes even. And on tablet or phone, this gives you a huge advantage over phone players on 2 fingers, and sometimes even like PC emulator players, because you can really just get really good at it and you can just wipe out everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Number 3, the number 3. This is key for me in any first-person shooter. Is I have to know what the aim precision is, and it says the best aim precision depending on what you play. Okay, if your aim is weak, to use default with or without the scope is recommended. Right? Would you agree with that? If you've got weak aim, that you should use default. What do you guys have at your set to?
Mine's precision on scope. I do a lot of sniping, so.
Mine's default. I like the drag shot on PC. It's just so much easier without having to like spend all that time aiming just to miss that shot, and when you can just have the default aim lock on for you, basically.
Yeah, and I'm a default man myself too. I think default's a great place to start. It's got the auto aim that helps you, and it's a great place for any player really at all skill levels.
Oh, gotcha. Also another area that is always big is settings and sensitivity. Pretty much down the line, general 100, red dot 30, 2x scope 52, 4x scope 66, and AWM scope 82. What do you guys think about that? I mean, I know you might not, you probably know all your sensitivities pretty much right off the bat, but what would you tell a new player for their sensitivity? High sensitivity or low sensitivity?
It really depends on which device you're playing on. If you're playing on mobile, then I would say those sensitivities you're probably going to want a little bit higher. If you're playing on PC and you try to run those sensitivities, it's really just too twitchy. It dampens you, because I mean you can breathe on a mouse at a certain level DPI and get 2 or 3 pixel movement.
Yeah. What do you think?
My sensitivities down the line are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So, because I got on a PC player, I'm a PC emulator player. I can custom set up my mouse with the sensitivity I need. So I don't need the game to modify it at all. I can do it with my mouse and my mouse program. So I don't want the game to change what I've already tweaked. And as the 3 of us all play on emulators, that's what I think we all have them based on what our mouse setup is. So that may be good for a starting mobile player or a PC player that may be just brand new, but you'll find that you'll change them as you go.
Yeah. And as the dreaded controller guy, I'm actually trying this out. Okay. So I'm going to let you all know how this goes, but I'm going to be trying out controller for a little bit because I've been watching some demos of guys playing on controller and they love it. And especially for somebody who's a traditionalist, who I grew up, playing first person shooters like Call of Duty and, and now Fortnite, as it's come out, has become big. Like I really enjoy controller. So I want to see how the crossover works for Free Fire as that goes. Number 5 is never unnecessarily jump shoot. Never unnecessarily jump shoot. Is that a good advice to new players? It says a lot of Free Fire players often overuse jump shoot.
I mean, I definitely overuse it. I love to jump shoot because you do it in a lot of other games. And the problem with Free Fire with a drag shot headshot, jumping just helps them. It just, for some reason, when you jump and they're drag shotting, it just makes it even easier for them to get the headshot. So if they are trying to one tap you and you're jumping, you're probably getting one tapped. You're probably getting downed. If not, you can get a beautiful kill. I think and we can talk about this in the next episode. We're going to talk about input lag and maybe a little bit about ping. And if you're in a higher paying server, a jump shot actually can help you get a headshot really easily. It can almost give you that one tap headshot. So it really varies depending on server and your ping, but I would encourage, I think that's a right recommendation there.
This is I thought this one was interesting. Number 6 is take fights in the shrink zones. For a new player, take fights in the shrink zones. They say it's because 80% of Free Fire players get nervous during the shrink zone. And so if you have an advantage, take it. That's the time to pursue and be aggressive. What do you think, Carver?
I completely agree with that. It's always good to use your advantages that the game gives you, and you play on your strong suits to always help you win out a fight.
Yeah. See, I'm that eager beaver. I get happy and I'm like, oh, we're gonna go shoot because we got an advantage. Jake is Trashman. You played with me quite a few times, right? But right? Like, yeah. Some of you, Dadventurer. I get it, Kyle. Okay. Like, but I do get eager, right? So would you agree with this for a player like me? Should I take fights in the shrink zones?
I think they're talking in general, just while the zone is shrinking. Yes, to early shrink zones because their focus is elsewhere. It is getting to the safe zones. But as the circle collapses to almost nothing, you have no cover. So the only cover you have is fighting. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. No,
here's the last one, 7. 7 is that sniping improves your aim. Now, Trashman, I know you like sniping, so tell me, do you think that's accurate?
Not really, because like people all have different play styles. Kyle can run an SMG like no other. Flame Carver, he's good with shotguns, and he loves the Mag 7, so he's great with those. For me, I use longer range, and when it comes to the short range game, I'm still probably about noob level. It just is what it is. I don't think it helps or hurts you aiming wise. It may get you down a little bit, but overall, I don't think so.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, as a noob, this has been really helpful because these are things that, that a noob like me wants to know, because I need those tips and tricks to get the upper hand, right? Carver, I think you've got a cool announcement, special announcement actually for our listeners.
Yes, I do. Over on our freefirefamily.com website, we're doing 100 diamond airdrops over there. We're doing them every day through the month of February. You must comment on the post and with your name in the game and your UID and your server to enter. One lucky winner will be chosen every day through the entire month of February.
Yeah, I mean, our Free Fire Family website, I think, is a great way. It's just one other way. To me, I think the Free Fire community is one of the most loyal and best communities in gaming right now. I'll just be honest with you. Like, people will forsake the big name, the Fortnites and the Call of Duties because they're mainstream popular. Free Fire has this humongous following, right, of dedicated people who love the game, who play on a regular basis consistently. And honestly, that's what every gamer wants. You want a community of people that love playing the game together. And that's been my experience. Is when I play, it's always such a blast. Like, I absolutely love it.
Well, that's great. And check out freefirefamily.com. You get a chance to get 100 diamonds every day. That's amazing for all of you. Get your top up. And we appreciate you listening to us on the Free Fire Pro podcast. We'll be with you on the next episode. And we got some big news on that one. Big news out of Latin America and the Donato. Is he quitting Free Fire permanently or not? We'll tell you more on the next episode. Until then, we'll see you on the next Free Fire Pro podcast.